Minutes after the hour, new British Prime Minister Boris Johnson promising to crack down on immigration using a strategy that echoes President Trump's current policies.
No one believes more strongly than me in the benefits of migration to our country. But I am clear that our immigration system must change. I will ask the Migration Advisory Committee to conduct a review of that system as the first step in a radical rewriting.
At a time of political polarization here in the U.S. and across the pond, how will this apparent revolt against global elites impact our president come the 2020 election? Nile Gardiner is the director of the Margaret Thatcher Center for Freedom at the Heritage Foundation. He joins us now to weigh in. Nile, thanks so much for joining us. Before we get your Trump-Johnson comparisons, $64,000 question. Set the stage. What does Boris Johnson mean for October 31st and the potential Brexit?
Well, Prime Minister Johnson has made it absolutely clear that Britain will leave on October 31st with a deal or without a deal. And he's laid down the gauntlet to the European Union. And he's made it 100% clear that Brexit is a reality. It's going to happen. Britain is going to leave the EU on October 31st. And the British people will be truly free and sovereign again. And so Brexit will be a definite reality. This is a great event for Great Britain. The British people have voted to leave the European Union. The British people have voted to retake control of their borders, their own trade policies, their own laws, their courts. And this will be a great day for freedom and sovereignty for the British people. It'll be a wake-up call to the sinking big government European Union. And so I do hope that the EU got the message yesterday when Boris Johnson gave his first speech in the House of Commons. That should be a wake-up call to the EU that it's no longer business as usual. It's not Theresa May in charge anymore, who had a very weak-kneed approach towards Europe. Boris Johnson is a true Brexiteer. He's leading a Brexiteer cabinet. And he is firmly committed to delivering Brexit on October 31st, which is the will of the British people.
Let's get into this no longer business as usual Trump and Johnson comparisons. Obviously, there's a definite sense of nationalism, putting your respective countries first, promising tax cuts, pursuing a trade deal between the U.S. and the U.K. But, of course, the biggie that you see on that list is the immigration debate. What does Boris Johnson want to do in Europe, or in England, I should say, and how does that compare to what President Trump is trying to do here in the U.S.?
Well, Brexit, in part, is about restoring control of British borders, and that's one of the key reasons why the British people voted for Brexit, in addition to restoring full sovereignty to Britain's parliament, to its courts, and so on. And so the British people would like to see immigration firmly controlled. And at the moment, of course, anyone from the EU can come into the United Kingdom, settle here. And that, of course, has led to a large explosion in immigration into Britain in recent years. And so the Conservative government will certainly change that. With Brexit, you're going to have far tighter control on who comes into the country. Certainly, I think the goal of the British government is to bring into the UK the best talent from all over the world. So it's not an anti-immigration policy. It's about retaking control of Britain's borders. And Boris Johnson has spoken about Britain emulating the Australian points-based immigration system, which ensures that you attract highly qualified people to the United Kingdom who are going to contribute to the British economy.
Right, and along those lines,
it's a rejection, really, of the kind of open borders approach that the left has taken.
And you've heard President Trump say the same thing.
That will certainly benefit, I think, the British economy and ensure that the interests of the British people are protected.
And you've heard President Trump say the same thing. Nile Gardiner, thank you so much for being here. Obviously, it's going to be interesting to see if what happened in the U.S. and the U.K. happens throughout the world of the global elites. Carly?